Look, I'm gonna get to the point, and then you can hear me rant. So the factual information is gonna be given to you, and after that, Cloudy's gonna go off. Um, just completely off. So on that note, on the CIA website, the CIA was pressured to declassify and provide all the factual UFO evidence. So Cloudy's giving you a link, you the listener, so you can become aware enough for you to start doing research, for you to start comprehending the history of this realm over the last 6,000 years. You can comprehend what biologically makes this brief body that you are to responsibly use as a co-creator, what your soul is. You have to have that full comprehension so that you can take responsibility in your direct space while you exist in this physical reality. So with that said, you can click on this page, you can follow the link, and go straight to those UFO files. There's so much more factual information that's going to be provided, and we're going to break it down throughout the incoming weeks. In regards to the content itself, we're going to show you the actual intentions of the malicious parasites hiding within NASA, and we're going to talk about the actual terrorists that have attacked all subgroups and made all subgroups do corrupt things until this age of Aquarius, because we're not allowing that corruption any further. All that trash is getting sieged legally in this age of Aquarius. You, the listener, don't blame anyone from any subgroup. Pinpoint who are the energetic parasites in all subgroups and keep your energy/money away from them.
No sides have to fight. It's in all sides recognizing they are not the bodies, they're merely the users of the respective brief bodies that are to become powerful enough and righteous enough to identify who are the monsters within their respective subgroup. That is what we all have to do, and we really have to come together, especially us influencers that continue to grow within this decade in this age of Aquarius. Don't have corrupt views towards a different subgroup, and don't hold a specific subgroup responsible necessarily for past events. What that specific subgroup has to do, though, is point out who are the monsters that are to get legally sieged. That is what has to be done. And when entities speak truth and have evidence, it is to be used appropriately in the public eye. There is no hiding. It's in the public eye. It's like this UFO info. There are so many righteous brothers and sisters who spoke truth, and they were looked at as, crazy because idiots didn't want to wake up and take responsibility at their co-creators. Those same idiots that said, those people are crazy, are the same freaking crazy ones that in the background were raping kids, were attacking children, teenagers, were traumatizing a lot of entities that caused the suicide, murder, etc. Those are the freaking weird, creep-ass, trash parasites that were accusing righteous brothers and sisters who did genuine research to help your awareness. And that BS is not allowed any further in this literal age of Aquarius. Because us, specifically of this present generation, are getting into all these legal fields, starting in the United States, and removing these corrupt Jews and YouTubers. That is the problem. Not Jews. We're talking about the corrupt Jews and YouTubers. So you, the listener, go figure out exactly why we're talking about that specifically. And on that note, you'll hear Cloudy rant right now. That means stop giving your energy, your views to YouTubers. If you see that YouTuber is making all this money, but they're not funding something genuinely, they're not talking about significant topics here and there. It's okay for you to have your respective channel, but when your channel is corroded with BS and you don't have not even one video talking something constructive, then at that point we see exactly what you are. And so you, the listener, have to do research because the interconnections are there. The cases have piled up. And one says it's for the care of the children going through so many horrible things, literally being trafficked. And that has to be prevented in the now. And it starts with your awareness. So next time you go onto YouTube and you click on a YouTube video, observe what that YouTuber is talking about, how they're trying to feed your soul. If they're just showing off. Are they just showing off? Are they talking about irrelevant BS? And that's all they ever do? Do they just doing theories and never talk about facts? Do they pretend as though they don't know what the fuck is going on? Please figure it out. And when you do, stop viewing that trash. CIA releases 13 million pages of declassified documents online. BCC News. Now we're going to go to the actual CIA website. So this is all factual information. We're not dealing with theories like certain buffoons like to talk about and go nowhere. YouTubers like to talk about theories and distractions because that's what they're paid to do. They don't want to talk about facts, what's actually relevant, because when you dive into facts and what is relevant and beneficial to the planet is not beneficial to the devils that have been observably the culprits for the murder, rape, confusion, suicide, hellish experiences that billions of souls have went through over the last 6,000 years in all subgroups because they were sneaky up until now. Let's feed the young souls some factual information that's going to help them and actually shape them so they can go do more research and become strong enough to protect themselves and protect those in their direct space from sick, Satan-worshipping pedo parasites that can be traced and are to be legally sieged in this age of Aquarius. Age of information. To the energetic parasites that get legally sieged. Identify who it is. Don't just randomly blame someone. Because Cloudy has friends, genuine friends in all subgroups. Cloudy has friends that are Jews. Not all Jews are bad. We're talking about democratic liberal devils that you, the listener, had to identify. That like to play in La La Land and make things seem like, oh, it's all an illusion, it's all a theory. No, let's deal with reality. And when you trace the problem, numerous problems, whether that's organ harvesting, whether that's toxic chemicals being thrown into all subgroups to mess with their genetic makeup, to mess with their DNA, when it comes to the contamination of water, when it comes to the contamination of the air, when it comes to so much that we can easily talk about right now, it all gets traced to who? So let's dive into this specific talk about quote-unquote NASA and how they're spending trillions trying to stalk other planets so that they could do what? Invade, attack, rape, murder, sell innocent organisms on other planets? Because if you notice, it did not work a long time ago. It did not work over the last 6,000 years. Why are you repeating sick thought patterns? You see, when it comes to psychology, we have to really observe who are the actual sickos. Who are the sickos that write with pen and visually and auditorily put out sick content? Where did they get that sick content? Where? You have to trace where. Because if you see for the last 6,000 years, that has led to toxic behaviors. It has led to any sort that is exposed to that then self-destructs because of that, ends up traumatized and traumatizes others because of that. More souls are going to end up doing just that if you don't take out the devil repeatedly making that evil, corrupt, malicious content. So those disgusting energetic parasites are doing the same thing they were doing when they initially got on this planet 6,000 years ago. What did they do? They used deceptive tactics to destroy civilizations. And now they're trying to deceive you, the listener, into giving them energy/money so that they can use it in NASA and then get on other planets and do what exactly? So that little shenanigan ends here, in the now, in this decade. No more funding. No more funding disgusting ass parasites. Time to make new platforms. Because the end does not justify the means. If you see a conqueror, quote-unquote conqueror, conquered a bunch of people, but didn't even help them ascend, become aware, become more responsible, and then that conqueror gets conquered by a different conqueror that does the same thing, traumatizes a bunch of people, doesn't do it, is just playing a whose dick is bigger game, not solving anything. What does that tell you? Then that conqueror gets conquered and it goes nowhere. What you have to recognize is that when a toxic thought form goes nowhere, it's time to destroy that toxic thought form. So legally,
we are moving in. That's all that really has to be said. Identify who are the monsters for all subgroups and legally siege them. So when it comes to YouTubers, identify who are the ones always making distractional bullshit that actually doesn't even help you personally become your better self.